Everything is a matrix. There's a thread of reality that has to get addressed because it's like an elephant in the room. But then these lies and assumptions become so thick, we could be looking at the elephant and not understand what we're looking at. Okay? It's like we can't understand what we're looking at. And when we're in that feeling, that is an important moment. The idea isn't to get what really is happening. The idea is to change your perspective, to change the kinds of questions you're asking about that. Because the assumption you're working off of is what's framing up your questions. So, how do you step out of that so you can ask different questions? And this was modeled by Dear Starshine the other day. She, she's, was talking about politics. She's from a family that's very blue, and she's in major conflict because she always voted along with her family or played along with the ideas of the family, all this stuff. But the conflict was blue was more of the same, and red felt like it was really going to shake things up, right? And so it's like, the question was, how do I reconcile that inside? And it's not about good or bad, right or wrong. It's about, what do you want to feed? What do you want to feed? Do you want to feed the status quo, or do you want to feed with your actions the shakeup? If the answer is, I don't really want to feed either, then that's a valid answer too. See, so it's just a slightest little tweak, and we can start to see how we get tripped up emotionally, mentally into these matrices. These matrices are meant to lock us into a corner and that it's difficult to get out of. And then we have this all this emotional charge and collective charge, and then it's even harder to get out of. And these celestial nesting dolls are supporting us in getting out of this. But because of the strength of the inertia and the strength of the resistance to the inertia, this creates all sorts of added noise, chaos, and confusion. Okay. And that's why, just because the celestial energies are supportive of the pushing through and the awakening doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen for you or I. The deciding factor, if it's going to happen for you or I, is our flexibility, our resilience, our capacity to really accept the fact that we don't know. It's impossible to know. The only thing we know for sure is that we are living in a matrices that is nesting dolls within nesting dolls of lies and distractions. Okay, that's the one thing we absolutely can be sure about. Okay, and that's because it's reflected in every turn.